Welcome to the Shrek Attack tutorial. What we're going to do in this tutorial is blend Shrek with Bruce the Shark. So we're going to put the two images together, and I'm going to use Shrek, the top half of Shrek's head and the bottom half of Bruce, mainly his mouth. And we're going to put those two together. Now Shrek is on the layer, if I click on that layer, he's on the layer above, so I can now move him about. And I've also got the Shrek Attack logo which I've made, which again is right above everything else, so I can stay there for the moment. So I've got to make sure that I'm on the Shrek layer, and the first thing I'm going to do is crop away some of the larger areas that I don't want. So to do this, I'm going to use my rectangular marquee tool, okay, which is this one over here, rectangular marquee tool, and I'm simply going to come across the top corner here and drag down to the bottom and across to Shrek's ear. And I want to keep the ear, so I just come up to it and I hit delete on the keyboard. And I do the same on the other side. I'm going to drag right up to the ear and right across the page and hit delete on the keyboard. And finally I'm going to use this to come up from beneath, right up just to the tip of his mouth there. Okay, no higher, and hit delete. And there I've got the top half of his head ready. So I'm going to go select and deselect. What I need to do now, of course, is get rid of the sky behind it. So I'm going to use my magic wand for this. So I'm going to click on the magic wand, make sure it is the magic wand, not the quick selection tool. And the tolerance, it doesn't matter what it's set to, but if it's low, alright, on yours, you need to bump it up. At the moment, it's I've just changed this to 1 to show you what happens. If I click on the blue, it only selects 1 pixel of the same blues. Okay, and make sure you're contiguous. There's got a tick in it. Alright. Now, if I bump it up to 30 and do the same thing, it gets more pixels, or more blue pixels. And because Shrek is very different colour, as with green, from green to blue, this works really well. So I can bump this right up to something like 90 and click on the blue again, and that should get most of the blue areas. So I'm going to hit delete, and I'm going to come over here and hit delete there as well. Okay, and I can do the same thing with the white area. I'm going to hit delete on that, there, delete on the keyboard this is, delete, and delete. And that's it, and I'll just get rid of this last little selection, which we call marching ants, and go select, deselect, and that gets rid of that. And I'm going to go back to my move tool. If I move it around, I can see if there's any areas I've missed, which looks pretty good. Right, the next thing I'm going to do is stretch and resize Shrek's head to fit over Bruce. So to do this, I need to hit Control T on the keyboard, alright, which gives me the 8 nodes, and I'm going to stretch his head above like that, and across to fit the edge of Bruce, and the other edge of Bruce over there. And let's move that one a bit, so I'm going to come back, and I'm going to hide these nostrils here of Bruce. So I'm going to bring the picture down below, something like that, and then re-stretch it again a little bit just to get it on the edge. That will do me. And I'm going to then hit the checkbox to OK the transformation. Right, I'm ready now to delete a bit of the harsh line that we've got a Shrek and blend the two in. So to do this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to first of all transparent Shrek. So I'm going to come up to this word opacity up here, and I'm going to slide the slider down so I can see through the image. And then I'm going to come to the eraser tool over on the left here, and I'm going to choose the eraser tool, and I'm going to come in and make sure that the hardness is right off, so it's really, so there's no hardness at all, so it's a soft brush, and well, that's okay, the brush size at the moment. I think I'll keep it like that. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in and delete, because it's a soft brush, it gives a soft edge. Right, I've got to be very careful here. I don't want to show the nostrils of Bruce beneath, so I'm just going to get rid of that sharp line there. And then I'm going to come back up with a smile and get rid of the areas there and the edges as well. And that's probably enough. And I'm now going to come back to the opacity and bring the opacity up. And there we have a blended image of Shrek and Bruce. The last thing to do will be to change the colour. To change the colour so it matches the blues of Bruce, I still got to make sure I'm on the Shrek layer. And I'm simply going to go up to Image, because it's the image we're dealing with, Adjustment, and I'm going to change the hue and the saturation, or at least the hue in this case, and all I need to do is slide along the hue until I find the appropriate colour. Alright, it can be, lots of different colours here, but I'm just going to slide along until I find a colour very close to it, which is probably around there. And I can change the saturation, which gives me a strong blue, or takes the colour out, and play around with that a little bit. I'll just play with that saturation a little bit more, and that's probably enough. I'm quite happy with that, and I'm going to OK it. And there we go, we've blended one image into another to give a completely new character. Alright, and I call this the Shrek Attack tutorial.